Doing a PhD in BJJ. Hey guys, Coach Tom here, doing a PhD in BJJ. What does it even mean? Well, first of all, it's not a real thing. It's not like you can go to the University of Jiu-Jitsu in California and although there is actually a University of Jiu-Jitsu in California, that's a bit odd for me to say, Saulo and Shanji Ribeiro School. But you know, there's no Californian State University that'll give you a jiu-jitsu course. But what you can do is actually do that course. You're not going to get the piece of paper at the end, but what you're going to get is the actual education. So when I was going through my university college education, I did my undergraduate degree, and then I embarked on doing a stream for a master's degree with psychology. And from that, it costs a lot of money, and it goes through your head. You go, why am I spending tens of thousands of dollars of doing this when I could just buy the books and read it and get the education? You don't get the piece of paper, but you get the education. And then I started thinking, well, why am I doing this with psychology? I mean, I was doing it to help my coaching, but I mean, shouldn't I do that in jiu-jitsu? If jiu-jitsu is what I want to do with my life, although I still value myself as a competitor and I still compete to try to either help my students, by finding the stable stepping stones to lead them towards their goals, or if I can't become a world champion in the time that they can, at least I'll find the wobbly stones for them to avoid. For me, I want to be the best coach in the world. That's my goal. And I know that there's a lot, hundreds of amazing coaches in the world that are trying to be the absolute best they can be. So what's going to separate? Well, there's talent, but hey, that can't be fixed. If people like me, they like me. If they don't, etc. But what can be fixed? Well, the amount of study. And I've always learned that, an old economics professor of mine said 5,000 hours. If you can do 5,000 hours on a topic, you are going to be an expert. Now, you might not be the world's expert in it, but you are going to be an expert. So then you start saying, okay, well, how much would it require to be a world's expert? And you would say, well, you need to be doing this full time for years and years and years and years and years. And so I knew that, I'm still rolling every day, I'm still training every day, but what could I do to fast track that process? So for me, it meant study. It meant doing hours of study every day on jiu-jitsu, finding out how do other coaches teach this, find out what do competitors do to counter this, finding out what are all of the reasons why people don't do that move anymore. Because a lot of the new stuff in jiu-jitsu is old, and you can kind of predict the movements of where professional jiu-jitsu is going to go based on looking into history. Funny how that works. And so I would suggest, if you guys are serious, whether you're a student or you're an instructor, consider that I think it's a noble idea to do a PhD in BJJ. I think, especially as an instructor, if you can develop your knowledge to a world-class level, and it's not like I'm saying that I have the most knowledge in jiu-jitsu in the world, but I can tell you right now that I think I'm doing more study than anyone else in the world, and I've been doing this for a long time. So, as an athlete on the mats, I try to be, the best I can be. I want to be world-class, but really, there's a lot of people doing that. There's a lot of people in America and Brazil, probably even here in Australia, that are going full-time. They do nothing but train jiu-jitsu to be a world champion. But what I don't see is enough people doing full-time study to be a Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach. And that's something that I do, and that's why I take pride on not being stumped when people ask me a question. My greatest fear is not to be tapped on the mats. My greatest fear is to get a question from a student that I can't answer because I don't have the knowledge. That's my greatest fear. But that's a wonderful fear because it gives me a lot of away from motivation to keep studying every day, because it's not easy to study jiu-jitsu for hours a day. It's something I do because I love it, and I can spread the benefits to my students and even people like yourself. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Coach Tom. Go get your PhD in BJJ. Thanks for watching the video, guys. For more videos, click here. To subscribe to this channel to get all of our awesome videos, click here. And if you'd like to have our hour-long series for free on footlocks and how to defend footlocks and leg attacks of all kinds, please click here. I'm Coach Tom, guys. I'll see you next time.